Hi, families. I just want to follow up this first chapter with a few additional remarks. Um, as you'll see in the coming slides, I have worked with both the heights and the depths of life on Earth, and I think it is amazing that the Earth is so chock full of life, and you find it everywhere, in places you wouldn't dream that life could survive. Um, so part of my fascination with extremophiles, with life that thrives in places where you'd never expect life to thrive, is that I want to know, can life exist in places other than Earth? So I have actually worked with organisms that have been to outer space. NASA has these spacecraft assembly facilities where they assemble their Mars rovers, for example. And these facilities are clean rooms. So they sterilize the inside of these rooms really well. There's a very good reason for that. You don't want to assemble a rover that's going to go looking for life on Mars, say, yes, I found it, and realize that what it actually found was not Martian life, but life on Earth that hitchhiked on the rover. So, like I said, NASA is very thorough in how they sterilize these clean rooms, and yet when they sample the clean rooms, they find some of the same organisms over and over and over again and have for decades. So they decide to send it to space. So you may have heard a few years ago there were news articles about NASA finding bacteria on the outside of the International Space Station. They didn't find it; they put it there. They had originally isolated it in these clean rooms. So imagine you're a little bacteria that's zooming around the Earth every 90 minutes, so 45 minutes of full sunlight and then 45 minutes of full darkness. It's pretty cold, and the whole time you're in the vacuum of space. And after 18 months of that, what do you think happens? Some of these bacteria still revived. And that's when I got to work with them. So these pictures on the bottom of the slide are pictures I actually took of these organisms under our microscope in the lab. So the one on the left there is, just after culturing them after they, come from the International Space Station. And the ones on the right are the same organism, but after I'd evolved it to be, if anything, more unkillable. Um, so it really makes you wonder if life on Earth can evolve to survive the extreme conditions of space. Maybe there's organisms in other parts of space that have evolved to, survive these extreme conditions. Um, but I haven't just, looked at the heights of life. I've also looked at the depths. So these are pictures I took when I visited a retired silver mine. So we went a mile underground, and the picture on the left is some slimy goo, a mile underground in this mine. It's probably alive. The picture on the right, I just want to show that it was kind of like an Indiana Jones adventure. We were riding around in mine carts and we had hard hats, and it was really hot and sweaty, and it was such fun. But I asked the people who work there, where do you find slimy, smelly stuff? Because that's probably alive. And they told me every time they break rock, they find slimy, smelly stuff. So there's probably living things inside solid rock a mile underground. And I think that's amazing. So there are probably a lot of questions churning in your mind right now, right? Like, what counts as a living thing? You'll see in the next chapter that even Aristotle had some open questions about where to demarcate what's alive versus not alive. You may say to yourself, I kind of know it when I see it. But the question is, how would you prove that it's alive or not? And how would you train, for instance, a rover to know a living thing when it sees it? For instance, how would you train a rover that's going to Mars looking for life to recognize life when it sees it, especially if it's life that no human has ever seen before? So I hope this is stimulating a lot of questions in your mind. I can't wait to see you in the next video. In the meantime, like, subscribe, and share with everyone. You know, if it's someone who has a child, if it's someone who knows a child, if it's someone who's maybe seen someone vaguely human child shaped, share these videos, and I'll see you next time.